sharing quick, healthy and cheap recipes that you can make with the cost of living going up and still stay healthy. So today I'm going to share a lovely lentil soup recipe. Now it's winter time here in the UK, so soups are definitely a great thing to have on a regular basis. Most people look at soups as a way of getting more vegetables in, and that's perfectly fine. The one thing that most people forget is, where do your protein come from? I'm a big believer that with every meal we should have some sort of protein. So protein, veg are the first two things that I look at when it comes to meal planning, and then potentially add some carbs as well. So what ingredients do you need? So let's have a look at the ingredients. I have got chopped up 2 carrots, 3 stalks of celery, and I am using some frozen onion because I'm running short of onions. I have a tin of chopped tomatoes. I have some stock. I have a whole pack of green lentils that don't require to be soaked. You could use some tins as well. I've got 2 bay leaves, a whole lot of different herbs, so cumin, paprika, ground coriander, and I don't have any garlic, so I ran out of garlics as well, so I'm using garlic granules, salt, pepper, or pepper and salt, whichever way, bit of extra virgin olive oil, and 1.5 liters of water, and then some vegetable stock. So that's all you need for this recipe, and obviously a big pot. Now all that comes out at approximately 3.5 pounds, and that feeds 6 people. Yes, 6 portions for 3.5 pounds, and that's it. All depends on where you buy your lentils and where you buy your veggies. So let's start. So I'm going to put some olive oil in my pot, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put the onions in, and some garlic. Now if you have fresh garlic, great. Grate it and add it in. I'm going to cook that for about a minute or so. So I'm going to add some garlic granules. Perfect. And let's get a wooden spoon out. And let's get that to soften slightly, about a minute or 2. That's all you need before you add your celery and your carrots in. The celery and the carrots we're going to cook for about 5 minutes until it's really soft, and that generally, this mixture of onion, garlic, celery and carrots adds a hell of a lot of flavour. Now you're going to ask, what can you do with your leftover of celery? Good question. Personally, if I have the time, I chop more carrots, chop all the celery, chop some onion as well, and I mix it all up and put it in all containers or bags in the freezer, so that next time you start cooking, you are saving some time. So yeah, obviously you should normally put your onion and garlic first, but you know what, if you don't get to it, that's fine as well. Or you could just freeze everything separately. So your grated garlic you can freeze, your chopped onions like these ones you can freeze a bag of celery, a bag of carrots, and off you go, and you're ready for the next time you want to make some soup. Or lots of dishes, by the way, require some of the same kind of vegetables anyway as bases of whatever you do. When you make, for instance, a bolognese sauce, highly recommend you add all that stuff first. That gives a hell of a lot of flavor, and would make a difference. Now obviously you could also use that to make some stock, and then you got stock instead of using the bouillon or a stock cube, but this is how I'm doing it, what I'm going to do right now, because my freezer is quite full at the moment. So I'm going to add the celery and the carrots. I'm going to stir, and I'm going to leave that for about 5 to 7 minutes until it's nice and soft. You don't want it to brown as such, you just want it to be nice and soft. So while the sofrito, so that's what it's called when you mix onion, garlic, celery and carrots, is nicely simmering cooking, I have rinsed my green lentils. Now, even if you use tint, you would want to rinse your green lentils as well. Only because here and there is some stuff that is still there, and so you might not need to soak those, but you definitely need to rinse them. Same when you use tint, which I have. Now, cost-wise, it's probably the same because you need 2 tins of green lentils compared to a pack of half a kilo of green lentils, and you have a little bit more in there anyway. So whichever you use is fine, it doesn't matter, but you absolutely have to rinse it. So my sofrito is ready. Now the way you can know is, I don't know if you can see, but the celery becomes softer, a bit more translucent, and it is ready. So we're going to add all the other ingredients except for the salt and pepper, which we're going to keep up at the end. So I'm going to put 1.5 liters of water, so that's half a liter only, so I'm going to refill. There we go, that's 2. And it becomes a little bit yellow because of the veggies that are already in there. And the 3rd lot is here. I'm going to add some stock. So the pack says to add 4 levels of teaspoons per litre. So I am going to add 6. Let's get a teaspoon out. I'm going to add 6 teaspoons of it. You could add a stock pot, whichever. 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. We're going to add the bay leaves. Then I'm going to add some cumin, about half a teaspoon. Yeah, it's already a bit blocked up, so let's open it up. That's what happens when you have them in your cupboard for a little while, and that's perfectly fine. So a little bit of cumin. I can see I'm at the end of my cumin, which is probably why it happened. Half a teaspoon of that. Paprika should be alright. Yeah, there's a lot coming not in the teaspoon, but that's alright. It gives you an idea of how much. So half a teaspoon of each. That's coriander, and we got the garlic already. Now I'm going to add the bay leaves I put in already, the chopped tomatoes, and as I said, I use a tin. You can use whichever. Nope. There we go, and I'm going to add the lentils. That's half a kilo of lentils. Lovely. We're going to stir it all. we're going to bring it to a boil, and once it boils we're going to simmer it for about 30 to 40 minutes. You want the lentils to be soft but still a little bit firm. So let me show you what color it looks like right now. That's what it looks like. Okay. And then in 30-40 minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to take the bay leaves out, because that's the one thing you don't want to ingest. So I'm going to put the lid on, bring it to boil. You're going to take the bay leaves out, and we're going to blitz the soup. Now you can choose what you want to do. Blitz some of it, blitz the whole of it, get it thicker, and then taste it and add some salt and pepper. And that's it. That's all that you need to do to get a yummy lentil soup. So I'll be back to show you what the result is once it has simmered for half an hour, 40 minutes. But first I'll get it to the boil, which should happen in a couple of minutes, and then I'll put it on low and simmer it for 30 to 40 minutes. Now potentially your lentil soup you could also do in a slow cooker, so you could put it in, all the ingredients in before you go to work, put it on a timer and get the soup ready for when you come back for your dinner. As I said, it includes protein, it includes veg, it includes spices, it's warming, it's tasty, it's healthy, and more importantly it's cheap as well, because as I said, the total of all the ingredients is maximum 3.5 pounds, and it will make 6 portions of soup. If you only use it as a snack, great way of snacking as well. You might have some more portions of it, and obviously makes it cheaper per portion as well. So, you know, 50p, 60p a meal, you can't go wrong with that. See you shortly when it's ready. So the soup has been simmering for about 30-35 minutes, so let's have a look. I'm going to give it a stir. Oh, nice and thick. Now, you could eat it like that. That's not a problem. You don't have to do anything to it. And just add salt and pepper to taste. Or, as I said, you could take away the bay leaves. Let's find the second one somewhere. Throw this one away. You don't eat bay leaf. Bay leaf is great to give flavor, but actually is not good for us to ingest. So that's the second one. And so for those that are a bit picky when it comes to vegetables, we are going to blitz it, not for long. I like to have still some bits in it, but we're going to blitz it a little bit. So here's my hand blender. So it becomes a little bit thicker. So I haven't blitzed it fully, just some of it. You still got bits in it, but without having the everything full. So there's a few bits of carrot still in there, and so it becomes a little bit thicker. And yeah, I like it that way. So you can decide to leave it as it is. You can decide to fully blitz it or partially blitz it like I did. Now I'm going to give it a try and see how much salt pepper is needed. Maybe nothing. So there's still a little bit of bite in the lentils, but at the same time it's soft as well. Personally, I don't think it needs a lot of salt and pepper, just a little bit. And one thing that might add even more zing is a few drops of lemon juice. You'd be surprised how much lemon juice adds to the flavour. So highly recommend you do that. Now, as I said, this whole pot, which is about 6 servings, cost me about £3.5, so less than 50p per meal. This is a whole meal as well. You want to add a slice of bread to it, good quality bread obviously, so that might pop it up by a few pennies, but all in all, you can obviously keep that in the fridge. You can freeze it if you want and defrost it at a later time. All good, cheap, quick and healthy meals in not that long and very tasty. See you another time for the next recipe. Bye guys.